I don't know, right here. Hold on. I'm supposed to do all three of mine. I was right. I was like, let's see, bro. How are things? Good job.
Alrighty, everyone. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why?
Because.
Where?
You don't want to sit on me?
I'll just write you guys in.
What is next?
Good morning. Welcome to our 8th annual Poetry Out Loud School-wide competition. We've got 8 competitors over here in the wing ready to perform for you. I want to remind our audience, please be a good audience, and we're going to hold our applause until the end of the round. Okay, so we'll let each competitor go, and then afterwards, after the first round, we'll take a little break and give them an applause. All right. Before we begin, I want to introduce our judges. First, we have Mrs. Jane Campbell. She is a former English teacher, literacy coach from Fort Scott High School. And did you taught at the college?
Yeah.
She did some adjunct teaching too. And she was my mentor for my first year. I would not have survived my first year without her. And then we have Mrs. Marshall, who many of you guys know. Right, we know Mrs. Marshall, yes. Mrs. Marshall was a technology and English teacher here, and now she's on our school board. So we appreciate your service to our school. And then we have Dr. Kim Runyon from PSU.
Hello, gang. I'll see you in 4 years, or a couple of years, right?
He is a professor in the teaching and leadership department at Pittsburgh State, and he was a cooperating or a supervisor to many of the teachers here at Girard whenever we were student teaching. So he
Like coming home.
he helped us, many of us, get to where we are. So we appreciate you guys taking the time to volunteer to judge for us today. And then we have Ms. Drinick on accuracy. You guys know Ms. Ms. Drinick, 6 years. 6 year teaching. Okay, are you guys ready? I'll give you time the thumbs up, Jackson, you'll come up, sit down, maybe when I get the thumbs up. You guys good? All right, let's do this.
Half a league, half a league, half a league onward. All in the valley of death rode the 600. Forward the light brigade, charge for the guns, he said. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Forward the light brigade. Was there a man dismayed? Not though the soldier knew someone had blundered. Theirs not to make reply. Theirs not to reason why. Theirs but to do and die. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Cannon to right of them, cannon to left of them, cannon in front of them, volleyed and thundered. Stormed out with shot and shell, boldly they rode and well. Into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell, rode the 600. Flashed all their sabers bare, flashed as they turned in air, sabering the gunners there, charging an army, while all the world wondered. Plunged in the battery smoke, right through the line they broke, Cossack and Russian reeled from the saber stroke, set shattered and sundered. And then they rode back, but not the 600. Cannon to right of them, cannon to left of them, cannon behind them, volleyed and thundered, stormed out with shot and shell, wild horse and hero fell. They that had fought so well came through the jaws of death, back from the mouth of hell. All that was left of them, left of 600. When can their glory fade? Oh, the wild charge they made. All the world wondered. Honor the charge they made. Honor the light brigade. Noble 600.
Ode by Arthur O'Shaughnessy.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams, wandering by lone sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams, world losers and world forsakers, on whom the pale moon gleams. Yet we are the movers and shakers of the world forever it seems. With wonderful deathless ditties, we build up the world's great cities, and out of a fabulous story we fashion an empire's glory. One man with a dream at pleasure shall go forth and conquer a crown, and three with a new song's measure can trample a kingdom down. We, in the ages lying in the buried past of the earth, built Nineveh with our sighing, and Babel itself in our mirth, and o'erthrew them with prophesying to the old of the new world's worth. For each age is a dream that is dying, or one that is coming to birth.
The Charge of the Light Brigade by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Half a league, half a league, half a league onward, all in the valley of death rode the 600. Forward the Light Brigade, charge for the guns, he said. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Forward the Light Brigade. Was there a man dismayed? Not though the soldier knew someone had blundered. Theirs not to make reply, theirs not to reason why, theirs but to do and die. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Cannon to right of them, cannon to left of them, cannon in front of them volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell. Boldly they rode and well into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell rode the 600. Flashed all their sabers bare, flashed as they turned in air, sabering the gunners there, charging an army, while all the world wondered. Plunged in the battery smoke, right through the line they broke, Cossack and Russian reeled from saber stroke, shattered and sundered. Then they rode back, but not the 600. Cannon to right of them, cannon to left of them, cannon behind them volleyed and thundered, stormed out with shot and shell, while horse and hero fell. They that had fought so well came through the jaws of death, back from the mouth of hell. All that was left of them, left of 600. When can their glory fade? Oh, the wild charge they made, while all the world wondered. Honor the charge they made. Honor the Light Brigade, noble 600.
Hope is the thing with feathers, by Emily Dickinson. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could have bashed the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity It asked a crumb of me.
Mesocanon by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Half of my life is gone, and I have let the years slip from me and have not fulfilled the aspiration of my youth to build some tower of song with lofty parapet. Not indolence, nor pleasure, nor the fret of restless passions that would not be stilled, but sorrow, and a care that almost killed, kept me from what I may accomplish yet. Though halfway up the hill, I see the past lying beneath me, with its sounds and sights. A city in the twilight, dim and vast, with smoking roofs, soft bells, and gleaming lights. And here above me, on the autumnal blast, the cataract of death, are thundering from the heights.
Epitaph by Catherine Phillips. What on earth deserves our trust? Youth and beauty, both are dust. Long we gathering are with pain. What one moment calls again. 7 years childless marriage past. A son is born at last. So exactly limpid and fair, full of good spirits, mien and air, as a long life promised. Yet, in less than 6 weeks dead. Too promising, too great a mind, in so small room to be confined. Therefore, as fit in heaven to dwell, he quickly broke the prison shell. So the subtle alchemist can't with Hermes' seal resist the powerful spirit's stellar flight, but 'twill bid him long good night, and so the sun, if it arise, half so glorious as his eyes, like this infant, takes a shroud, buried in a morning cloud.
Caged Bird by Maya Angelou. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still. And his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare string. His wings are clipped, and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still. And his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom.
Lines written in early spring by William Wordsworth. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sate reclined. In that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. To her fair works did nature link the human soul that through me ran, and much it grieves my heart to think what man has made of man. Through primrose tuft in that green bower, the periwinkle trails its reeds. And 'tis my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. The birds around me hopped and played their thoughts I cannot measure, but in the least which move they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. The budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air. And I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. If this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has made of man?
Okay, this concludes round one. Let's give everybody a round of Give them just a little bit of a break and we'll get started in round two. go ahead and start round two again. Let's hold our applause until the very end, okay? And then because Mrs. Reed needs in here for third hour, I'll probably have to announce the winner later today. I won't be able to tally it all before you guys have to go back to class, okay? All right. Are you ready? Are you guys ready? You guys ready?
Break, Break, Break by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Break, break, break on thy cold gray stones, O sea, and I would that my tongue could utter the thoughts that arise in me. Oh well for the fisherman's boy, that he shouts with his sister at play. Oh well for the sailor lad, that he sings in his boat on the bay. But the stately ships go on to their haven under the hill. But oh for the touch of a vanished hand and the sound of a voice that is still. Break, break, break at the foot of thy crags, O sea. But the tender grace of the day that is dead will never come back to me.
Nothing to Do by James Ephraim McGirt. The fields are white, the laborers are few, yet say the idle, there's nothing to do. Jails are crowded, and Sunday schools few, we still complain, there's nothing to do. Drunkards are dying, your sons, it is true. Mothers' arms folded, with nothing to do. Heathens are dying, their blood falls on you. How can you people find nothing to do?
Invisible Children by Mariana Llanos. Invisible children fall through the cracks of the system like Alice in the rabbit hole. But these children won't find an eat me cake or drink me bottle. They won't wake up on the lap of a loving sister. They'll open their eyes on the hand of a monster called negligence, who will poke them with its sharp teeth and bait them with its heartless laughter, like a wild thing in a wild rumpus. But the children won't awake to the smell of a warm supper, nor will they find a purple crayon to draw an escape door or a window. Instead, they'll make a mirror of a murky puddle on the city street, which won't tell them they're beautiful, but it'll show their scars, as invisible to others as these children are.
Break, Break, Break by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Break, break, break. On thy cold gray stones.
And I would,
O sea, and I would
that my tongue
that my tongue
could utter
could utter
Oh, well for the fisherman's boy.
Oh well for the fisherman's boy, that he shouts with his sister at play. Oh well for the sailor lad, that he sings on his boat by the bay.
And the stately ship.
And the stately ship goes on to their haven under the hill. Oh, the touch of the vanished hands
And the sound of the voice.
and the sound of the voice that was still. Break, break, break. At thy foot of thy craze. But the tender grace of the day that is dead will never come back to me.
Fantastic. Good job, everybody. Good job. It's not with the mic. Stomp by Nikki Grimes. I come home, feet about to bleed from angry stomping. Boy, says Mom, quit making all that racket. What does she know? When day after day, haters sling words at me like jagged stones designed to split my skin. Retreat to my room. Collapse on the bed, count 1, 2, 3. When I get to 10, I snatch up journal and pen. Flip to a clean page, and I load my hurt, my rage, so I can breathe again. Letter by letter, I rediscover my power to decide which words matter, which words don't, and whose. Calm now, I remember. I get to choose. How would you like it? What do you mean, like? The weight? It's got a mouth there.
The American Soldier by Philip Freneau. Deep in a vale, a stranger now to arms. He who once warred on Saratoga's plains sits musing o'er his scars and wooden leg. Remembering still the toil of former days, to others' hands he sees his earnings paid. They share the due reward, he feeds on praise. Lost in the abyss of want, misfortune's shade. Far, far from domes where splendid tapers glare, 'tis his from dear bought peace, no wealth to win. Removed alike from courtly cringing squires, the great man's levee and the proud man's grin. Sold are those arms, which once on Britain's blazed, when flush of conquest to the charge they came. That power repelled, and freedom's fabric raised. She leaves her soldier, famine, and a name.
Being by Nail Winder. Wake up, greet the sun, and pray. Burn cedar, sweetgrass, sage, sacred herbs to honor the lives we've been given. For we have been gifted these ways since the beginning of time. Remember, when you step into the arena of your life, think about those who stand beside you, next to, and with you. Your ancestors are always in your corner, along with your people. When we enter this world, we are born hungry. Our spirits long for us to live out our traditions that have been passed down for generations. Prayer, ceremony, dance, language, our ways of being. Never forget, you were put on this earth for a reason. Honor your ancestors. Be a good relative.
Caged Bird by Maya Angelou. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze and trade winds soft through the sighing trees and fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom.
Okay, we've got about 3 minutes. This concludes our Poetry Out Loud competition. I would like your kids to stay in here till the end of the hour. Do they need to go back?
There's stuff in the classroom.
Oh, okay. So if you're in Miss O'Malley's class, go ahead. You guys can go back to her classroom. Okay, my class, the strength class, you guys can stay in here. But let's give them one more round of applause, guys. They're really good. This is not an easy thing to do. Stand up.